We've all been there, right? That hard-stopping moment when you're staring at a critical Excel file and your mind just goes blank on the password. It's a special kind of panic. But don't you worry, because in this explainer, we are going to walk through exactly how to get your files back.
And let's be honest, disaster is the right word. It's not just an inconvenience, is it? A locked file can mean a missed deadline, scrambled financial data, or just hours of your hard work totally gone. The frustration is absolutely real, but thankfully, so are the solutions, and we're about to dive into all of them.
Okay, before we jump into the actual fixes, we need to get our vocabulary straight. In the world of password recovery, words like removing, breaking, and cracking mean very different things. Knowing which one you need is the key to picking the right tool and not wasting a bunch of your time.
So check this out. It's actually pretty simple when you see it laid out like this. Removing and breaking, think of these as your instant wins. They're perfect for simpler locks, like on a single worksheet. They either just get rid of the password or find a workaround. Cracking, though, that's the heavy-duty option. That's the real detective work of hunting down the one true password that's encrypting the entire file. And yeah, that's the one that can take some serious time.
So let's start with what you can try right now, completely free. Now, if you're dealing with a protected worksheet or workbook, and this is super important, this is for when you can open the file but you just can't edit it, then these methods are absolutely your first line of defense.
But wait, before you touch a single thing, this is probably the most important slide in this whole explainer. First, always, and I mean always, make a backup copy of your file. If anything goes sideways, you need that safety net. And second, just to be crystal clear, these free tricks are only for sheet protection. They are not for those heavily encrypted files that ask for a password to open.
First up is the VBA script. Now, I know that sounds a little technical, but trust me, it's surprisingly easy. You just hit Alt plus F11, which opens up Excel's code editor. Then you copy and paste in a little piece of code that basically just tells older Excel versions to ignore the password. Hit F5, and bam. Just like that, your sheet should be unlocked. It doesn't find your password, it just makes the lock disappear.
Okay, this next one is a really clever trick. You see, a modern XLSX file is actually just a fancy zip archive in disguise. So by changing the file name from .xlsx to .zip, you can literally peek inside and see how it's built. You then have to hunt down a specific bit of code, the sheet protection tag, and perform a little digital surgery. You just delete that one tag, save it, zip it back up, and change your name back. Get it right, and you're in. Get it wrong, and you might break the file, which is exactly why you made that backup, right?
So what happens when the free methods just don't cut it? Well, it almost certainly means you've hit the final boss, strong password to open encryption. This is where the file itself is scrambled, and, you're going to need to bring in the big guns to have any shot at getting it back.
This brings us to the two main paid options. On the one hand, you have powerful software you install on your computer, like Accent XL Password Recovery. The huge plus here is your file never leaves your machine, so it's totally private. On the other hand, you've got online services like accessback.com. These are incredibly convenient, especially for older files, but you do have to be comfortable uploading your document. It really is that classic trade-off. Do you want more privacy or more convenience?
So how does this kind of software actually find the password? Well, it uses a few really smart strategies. A brute force attack is just what it sounds like. It tries every single combination possible. A dictionary attack is a little smarter, trying common words and names. But the real power move is the extended mask attack. That's where you get to play detective and give it clues. Like, I think it started with a capital letter and had a 7 somewhere in it. Those little hints can speed things up dramatically.
And for modern files, there is a secret weapon, your graphics card. Yup, the same piece of hardware that makes your video games look so good is an absolute monster at the kind of math needed for password cracking. We're not talking about a small speed bump either. As you can see, using a GPU can be exponentially faster. For tough, modern passwords, it's not just a nice-to-have, it's pretty much essential. Okay, we've gone over the free tricks, the powerful software, the online services, the whole shebang. So we finally arrived at the most important question: how do you choose the right method for your file? Because the last thing you want is to be spinning your wheels trying the wrong thing.
This table right here is basically your roadmap. It all comes down to what kind of lock you're up against. If it's just a worksheet lock, meaning you can open the file, start with the free methods. If you're totally locked out of an old file from, say, Excel 2003, an online service is your best bet for a guaranteed fix. But if it's a modern encrypted file from 2007 or later, your only realistic shot is professional software that uses your GPU. Simple as that.
So, let's boil it all down. Here's the final game plan. For simple sheet protection, go free. For old locked files, go online. For new locked files, you need that professional software with GPU power. And the one golden rule that applies to every single one of these scenarios, you guessed it, make that backup copy before you even think about starting.
So there you have it. You now have a complete toolkit for getting back into your locked Excel files. But the final, and maybe most important question, isn't really about recovery at all. It's about prevention. Because the single best way to deal with a lost password is to have a safe, password-free backup ready and waiting.